Coming up on Mountain News this morning, to honor pregnancy and infancy loss, a church group gathered to remember lost loved ones. And Kentucky's Handle with Care program is something officials say no other state has.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:31 on October 16th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, we're seeing a little bit of a dreary day out there. It kind of makes me want to take a nap.
Exactly, and it's one of those days that's going to stretch into tomorrow. We get a break for midweek and then more mess to wrap up the week there. So again, a back and forth forecast for the next several days. Let's take a look this morning. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. You see again pockets of dark green and yellow. That is where the heaviest rain is falling. Now it could be misty or drizzle in some of the locations to the east, but this system coming from the north thanks to a trough. One of those soggy locations, Mount Vernon along I-75 there in Rockcastle County. So again, just be careful out there. Take it easy. Temperatures not moving this morning. 39 Wise, 49 Monticello. A lot of mid to upper 40s out there across the region. Now temperatures will be slow to climb as we head deeper into the daytime hours today. We may not even get into the 50s in some locations, but I do think we could get up to about 52, especially if that rain starts to wrap up a little bit later on today. The clouds, though, will linger, and you will not see sunrise or sunset today, which is now before 7 o'clock. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Skeletal remains were found in McCreary County on Saturday. The sheriff's office says the remains were found in the Ravello Stearns area. The coroner's office was called to the scene just before 5:30 Saturday afternoon. The remains will now be sent to the state medical examiner's office in Frankfort for identification. In Bell County, 2 people were arrested on Wednesday following a drug investigation. Deputies with the Bell County Sheriff's Office say they served warrants at a home on Varilla Road and arrested Candace Watts, 48, and Lee Watts, 43. Officials reportedly found multiple bags of suspected heroin, multiple pills of suspected oxycodone, multiple distribution bags, more than $1,300 in cash, and a gun. They were both taken to the Bell County Detention Center. 6 juveniles in the city of West Liberty have been charged. 3 of them were identified and charged in connection to the woman's bathroom at Old Mill Park being vandalized on Sunday. The city of West Liberty said in a Facebook post that someone attempted to set the bathroom on fire, and there were smashed pumpkins all over the driveway and in the bathroom. The other 3 were charged in connection to vandalism that happened on October 3rd. The bathrooms are closed indefinitely because of the damages. 21 members of the Calvary Temple Church of God Mountain Assembly in Whitesburg gathered to release balloons in honor of pregnancy and infancy loss. Patty Prophet lost a baby and first honored her lost baby by releasing a candle. Prophet says many in her church community lost their babies of their own and wanted to get everyone together to honor their loss. She says community support is important in the healing stage.
It meant a lot. It did to know that when one person's hurting, other people can feel their pain, but seeing others here today to support that.
Prophet says they plan to continue to host events like these annually. The rain this weekend did not have a damper for folks visiting the opening day of racing at Cumberland Run. WYMT's RJ Johnson was there for the exciting day.
The ribbon is cut and horse racing is now live at Cumberland Run. Vice President and General Manager Henry Graffio says it's exciting to see years of hard work pay off.
But live horse racing, there's nothing like it. Whether it's standardbred or thoroughbred, it doesn't matter. I mean, seeing that, being with a family and everything, and watching horses come in, it's just exciting. And here today, we actually created a little carnival event so that we can have large families come out with little kids and, of course, the people to watch the horses.
He says it's all about having fun with friends and family to enjoy Corbin's newest attraction.
It doesn't matter. It's just exciting to get out with your family and enjoy the outdoors. We lucked out and the rain passed and we were able to get the sunshine for our first race. It's just a great day. It's more about the excitement that you bring to people. You know, whether it's just watching the horses or watching the guys drive the horses, it's actually just exciting to see it happen.
Executive Director of the Southern Kentucky Economic Development Agency, Bruce Carpenter, says this is going to have a great economic impact on the region.
We're going to see a growth in economic development and the impact it's going to have in the tourism aspect of it, especially. I think once you take all the assets that we have in our whole surrounding region, this becomes a destination place for folks.
Governor Andy Beshear also made an appearance, saying he is looking forward for what this brings.
From HHR to Bannon Gray games that are having our horse industry at a level that we have never seen before, with bigger purses and more investments than we have ever seen. It is a truly exciting time for the region. I'm really excited to be here on day one. Congratulations.
With a new era of horse racing beginning, folks are excited to see what is to come. In Corbin, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Racing continues until November 7th, starting at 1 p.m. each day. For more information on dates, visit our website at WYMT.com. State leaders have been discussing safety in schools throughout the year. State School Security Marshal Ben Wilcox tells us the Handle with Care program here in Kentucky is unlike anything being done in any other state. He says every school is required to have a notification system that any law enforcement agency can use to notify a school of a traumatic event involving a student.
All it does is saying something's happened last night, so the next day when this child walks in and they're wearing the same clothes they were the day before, or if they're agitated, or we know something else has happened. It's not a disciplinary issue, it's a trauma issue.
Wilcox says the program is run by KSP, comes at no cost, and is the only statewide program of its kind. Earlier this month, an Explorer mission revealed new information about asteroids and how they affect our planet. Meteorologist Alexa Minton talked with an astronomer and physicist at UK who explains how something so far away could impact us here at home.
After traveling 4 billion miles, NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft has finally returned to Earth, bringing with it the first ever pure asteroid material for scientists to analyze.
Some years ago, NASA launched a probe out into the solar system, and the goal of that probe was to place itself in orbit around an asteroid, then to go down to the surface and grab some of the material from the asteroid and then bounce back off, a maneuver that itself took just a few seconds.
And after 7 years, the spacecraft has returned to Earth, bringing a completely untainted sample of space material for scientists to study. The rocks and soil from the asteroid are NASA's first asteroid samples to be brought back to Earth, making up part of the largest collection of materials gathered from a space rock in history.
The preliminary analysis of samples from this asteroid have revealed the existence of water. They certainly open up the possibility that the oceans that we swim in, the oceans that our ships sail in, may be made up of water that rained down on the Earth from debris of asteroids more than 4 billion years ago.
And while this discovery alone is incredible, the technology it took to achieve this research is an accomplishment in its own right.
You send this probe out into interplanetary space. You place it in orbit around an asteroid, which is very difficult to do because asteroids have very little gravity. Then you dive down to the surface, you grab some stuff, you bring it back up above the surface, you put it into another capsule, you shoot that capsule off, and the capsule lands at a specified place in the desert of Utah. That is just an amazing, unbelievable technological achievement.
The rest of the samples from the asteroid are being kept in a special lab in Houston, but more than 200 scientists from around the world will have the chance to study samples from the asteroid Bennu and learn a little bit more about our cosmic neighborhood. For WKYT, I'm First Alert meteorologist Alexa Minton.
The OSIRIS-REx spacecraft is now heading to another asteroid known as Apophis, which is projected to come within 20,000 miles of Earth in 2029. We have a little more than 2 weeks until folks will be dressing up and heading out for trick-or-treating. The city of Corbin is gearing up for its Trick-or-Treat on Main. Executive Director for Corbin Tourism, Convention and Commission Maggie Mulholland says businesses will join in on the fun.
Our Halloween event is actually Trick-or-Treat on Main, and that's a free event where not only the Main Street businesses, but also, you know, businesses all over the city come in and set up to hand out Halloween candy, so the kiddos can trick-or-treat down Main Street.
The event is from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on October 31st. Residential trick-or-treat is set from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. in the city of Corbin. For a list of trick-or-treat times across the region, you can visit our website. Coming up, Madonna is back on tour after a health scare earlier this year.
And fall is settling into the mountains, and it looks like it's for real this time. I'll have the back and forth forecast in about 3 minutes.